Once upon a time,
there's a place called London City.
I went along and I really wanted to be involved.
Check the revolution sound at my TAA show.
So I came back later with some paints and got involved.
And I think it's really kind of like, it's almost like an urban Burning Man, you know, it's kind of like dystopian, temporary autonomous space.
First we were young and we were ravers. And we'd go out on the weekend and do parties and...
Right, why take a building for a party when you can have it for 2 months and actually get creative instead of just partying?
This has been dead for about 8 years.
I know.
And I all parties, just getting a bottle of wine from Sainsbury's. I went, hello, why is that gun looking so bright and cool? Yeah, I think it's cool.
You know, it was always a sound system in a warehouse with some flashing lights, and that was about it.
Liquid masturbation, conversation, lubrication, salivating over the expectation of a wet whistle when it's already pretty slippery.
We went over to Europe, and over there we saw parties with performance and fire sculptures and walkabout puppets and all this, and we kind of came back and went, let's do something creative. And
Across the board! Look at it! Look at the shine!
sick. We realised that there was a lot of creativity within the rave scene and it wasn't having a chance to be expressed.
TAA is the best example of a bunch of really diverse people coming together, donating our time and resources and energy to make something truly amazing, which is not commercial, which is not for sale.
Without consumerism, without a price tag, without having to pay loads of money for a gallery, and without elitism and hierarchy.
Constructor capitalist nature. And we don't want that shit. We don't want that shit. We definitely don't want that shit.
And just to make a point that you don't need lots of money, corporate sponsorship or things for sale to have a good time.
The meeting of reality and magic.
20 years, I know, it's crazy. I think we probably had like 15 TAAs in the first 5 years. London, Manchester, Bristol, Brighton, they were kind of going everywhere. We were touring Eastern Europe. We had spin-off exhibitions called The Plot Thickens, Fuse, Cleanse. We were kind of really busy. We were young and full of energy. And I think our energy kind of died, but I think the political and cultural landscape of the late noughties kind of changed a lot anyway.
I like the way we flow, 'cause
Since then, other people have really been inspired still by the idea of temporary autonomous art and about those environments that we create and have kind of kept it bubbling on. And so there's a few of us that are still kind of in London and still got the energy for it. And so kind of working with the new people that are coming through, different ages. You know.
What crew? Who's a crew? What a crew do? You might have heard of them, but they never heard of you.
It's art, it's expression. Everyone is popular, people just turn up.
Open access, not judging it, good or bad art, just very much like a space for people to come together with their ideas and just be.
Which everyone can come and participate, you can join in as much.
I think you're supposed to be on the bar.
The good thing about the TAA is that we are more free to create whatever we want.
A really free space where you can, you know, make any kind of art.
Really heavy door from the ceiling and create a tornado.
Sure, what the fuck? How's this happening?
Even if the building is already broken, and that's a problem.
Hopefully that will switch people's brains into thinking into another way. I'm doing a screen printing workshop and we are selling t-shirts on our project. People can print on their own clothes or we have t-shirts for them they can get.
Well, I like the idea of like taking something that is kind of a bit manky and disgusting and full of filth and probably wet and mouldy, and then spending lots of time painting it like a beautiful canvas.
You might not be able to see with your camera, but trying to create
coral reefs inside an ocean, inside tin cans and plastic.
And we bring our old installation Shame, which is all about anti-capitalist ideas about consumer culture and what we spend our money on and how it's like feeding this kind of toxic society.
Don't use your mind and body and spirit! That's no use!
It's an installation about death and grief. So what I wanted to do was have a death cafe and do a tree of grief.
What do you plan for your body?
This is a place to let go. And I realised that COVID was a time for us all to touch our own mortality.
I lost my skin in Prison Branch 215. I lost my blood in Prison Branch 248. I lost my mind in Hospital 601. And I lost my bones inside Prison Sydney. Still, I have my soul. Still, I am here.
I have Carly, the destroyer here. We've got a coffin for people to have their photo taken in. It's got a cushion that says your face here, which is the goddess of creation and the god of consumption.
And so I painted these 5 icons, and basically they give how to squat in London. It's like the purpose of Christianity is to say that you stand in solidarity with one another and you welcome everybody, but it's not actually what happens.
Religion, community and culture, it's all confused.com, ain't it?
There are artists and there are creatives and there are people who just do that as a hobby. There's everyone.
Just kind of coming together, random bunch of people showing some random bits of artwork.
Hi, I am Alice of the Dead. For these, I paint on skipped mattresses.
Copycarpuncher.uk.
Hello, my name is Joana Palma. I'm a Portuguese artist and this is the cocoon.
I'm Little Lamb. I paint. Mostly I do other mixed media stuff which I couldn't get my shit together in time, so I just have paintings here today.
My name is Kane, or otherwise known as Kane Are You Able?
Hey, I'm Chris.
With The Knave, and The Knave is a collective of creative individuals and artists.
My name's Becky. I call my clothing label BB.
I'm Arlene from Paris.
Carlos Casiro.
The whole point is to celebrate creativity, to make the most of these spaces that we have here which are not being used, which is criminal.
Because it's snowing outside, you're living in a tent because there's no government.
It's an empty house that we squat and then put a lot of work into it, put art into it, and then have lots of people and lots of troubles when it's open.
Using the squat techniques of going in, like the squat party techniques of going into a warehouse, partying it for a weekend.
To show you how to crack with a ninja crowbar, with a Wookiee on guard, we'll be prowling in your yard now.
But instead of partying it, we artied it.
These icons, they belong only in a squat. They make no sense in a rented flat, for example, because they are tools for rebellion.
Obviously it's anarchist.
So for me it was amazing to be able to exhibit them in such a beautiful space with lots of squatters.
How many squatters have we got in the house? It's fucking all of you right now, isn't it?
It's also very much about the community.
Artist, great to be around other artists who exist on that fringe in the same kind of way.
You, all of them fucking love you!
Autonomy of the individual can be quite a selfish act.
Wadi Abu Diba, the valley of the hyena, overcoming others with force, that be wrong.
But when you get autonomy in a group, it's got to be about respect.
Overcome yourself and show that you're strong.
It's got to be about responsibility, about everyone acting for the collective good.
Because that anarchy is not chaos, it's not disorderly. It's about organisation, building community, all power to the commune, to the barricade we go. Check out the revolution sound at my post-COVID show.
We're all a bit weird.
In the need for normal, she fled, jumped into the first carriage and pretended she was there all along.
And weirdos are generally quite marginalised by society.
Like a reoffending criminal, a shoplifting addiction. It should not be branded an outcast. Support. That's everything.
and actually when we come together we realise we're a community, and it's about creating space for that community.
Left in the song of her heart, all she needed from me was my silence.
That ultimately is a really political act because it goes so much against society that's out there.
Because I'm sick of paying bills and I'm sick of paying rent. Feels like I work all the time, don't know where the money went.
Society teaches us that we must be in competition, we must consume.
Employees who have been underpaid to keep smiling as they undertake to sweep the beach.
And compete, and it's all about what we need and what we can get for ourselves.
Let go! Give up all your resistance and control! We are the social media power on the mission to feed your greatest superficial desires.
A space like this that is the absolute inverse of that is a hope and a light in many people's hearts and lives.
Come the revolution, come. Everybody gotta get up for this one. Come the revolution, come. Don't stop now, so we're just begun.
It's art as revolution in its own tiny little crack. It's, you know, it's a very small bubble of revolution.
Junglists unite, shake off the chains of the new world order.
And it's about creating unity.
London, let's organise. Now Holloway, let's organise. Now Limehouse, let's organise.
And again, I think that's why it's important that it's centred around art, because it's art as the language of unity, and that you don't need to speak the same language to be able to communicate that way.
I'm really concerned about the new bill, the Kill the Bill, this new police sentencing act. Well, I can remember when the Criminal Justice Act came in 1994, and we were travellers, and it really affected our way of life, our way of coming together, our community.
Let's organise, all the people, and let's organise. Let's organise.
We don't support Hacking Bay or his ideas that much, but his concept of pirate utopias and temporary autonomous zones was that you can only burst away from the capitalist society for a very short amount of time and for a very small place before the constraints of society come in and pull it apart. That moment, that impact, that everyone works well to a deadline, and it's kind of the most intense deadline that you can imagine.
And in a way it's almost like you wish it was longer, but it's also super exhausting the way that it is.
This building has been quite a special building for the 20th anniversary because it's so derelict and decrepit and unloved and unwanted, and it's not shiny and it's not perfect, and actually it takes effort and it takes struggle to make this work, and anything that's struggling, we live in such a swipe right like civilization.
Keep going. That's what society expects.
That we don't want to take the bother of making something work.
I can help people. I can help myself. I can put a spell on you.
And I think that it's testament to humanity and to the thrive of humanity to be more and be better that this TAA has worked so well.
The revolution let me raise my voice. Finally my soul could sing. In the local jail, I lost my trust in those who rule.
I look in the mirror with the music and I say, I love you.
You, all of them fucking love you!